Good evening, I'm on to Grassroots Football. Today I'm with myself and Man.
Hello.
Well, I'm going to pass it to Mal because he's going to talk about some administration work.
Administration work is right. What we're talking about, off the camera we've been talking and discussing with all the work in grassroots football that we've all been assigned to basically. Now, me as a secretary of the club and the general dogs body, as we all know in grassroots football, we put the team together many years ago. Let's go back to when there was no facilities, there was no what the lads had and what they've got now, the gyms, the 3G, the 4G. There was all just grass, muddy grass, and we all had to slave along there and pull the goals up. A lot of people out there will know what we're talking about. And put the goals up, put the nets up, and not many parents did volunteer to give us a hand because it was absolutely Baltic and you were getting soaked, so it was hard work. And all those years ago,
I don't remember a thing of that.
you would not, honestly, these are many years ago.
How long ago? 20 years?
You're talking, what, 30 years, 25, 30 years. And what we had to do was carry goalposts, put them all in, make sure they were up, then we had to pin all the nets up, and then we had to take them down after the game as well.
Work.
It was the hardest work in the world. And as I say, all the players, they all disappeared, and all the mums and dads, see you later, it was one of those.
Yeah.
We just didn't have, we didn't really have the young kids because we didn't have the goals for them to play games. You could get them going. The facilities kids have got now and the 3G, it's fantastic. It is great stuff, and it's all cost millions of pounds to do over those years. Well, also, the days, and not just those days when we're talking about, all we needed to do was get a photograph of all our kids who were in the team. And we all know that cheating was rife, and it probably still is, I don't know. Maybe you managers out there, coaches will come out and tell me, mal@don'ttexttheline.com, whether you put kids in your team that shouldn't be in the team, and I don't see the point of that. I really don't. Just start a team, get the kids who play in that team, give them that game. If you're short, you're short. It's one of those, and that's what it used to happen years ago. But we did have ringers, and we were all putting them in, and you just knew, but we just carried on playing because we were lucky enough to always get a full squad. Now, we just handed over our picture cards, which they used to be called, to the secretary to the league. There you go, he checked it, and then we got on with the game. We didn't pass it on to anyone else, he just knew what the team, there was ever a team check, then you'd have to have it with you, and the secretary would come out and read the names and look at the pictures as well. It was one of those things, it was simple. And at the end of the game, you used to have a little scorecard, put all the names down, who scored what, and then mark the referee out of 10. That's the way it was. I know it's gone out of 100 and what have you now. And then we just used to go home and wait for the next week. If you had training, you had these grass pitches, if you could fit it in. Pitches weren't muddy and the rain stayed away, you could play games. And that's the way football was, muddy kits, but it took you about 5 days to get the mud out of the kits because you had to take them home. Someone had to do them, the girls had to do them, the mums had to do them, we all had tears to piece. But they got done. Now you don't have muddy kits, that's one good thing about it because of the 3G. But they're all full of rubber. There you go.
Have you heard the thing about the rubber?
We heard that a good while ago. They're still looking into it, and they're saying, you're talking about you can catch cancer and this what they're saying. It's not proven, otherwise games would be stopped tomorrow if that was the case. And that was the rumour, you probably picked it up, I think you saw, was on the, where was it you saw that?
On social media, talking about the Norwegian pictures, which are mostly 3G by now.
Yeah, and the little bits of rubber, that's what it is, so no panic. Obviously the FA will come out with statements if that was the case and we'd stop them straight away. But we'll see how that goes. And then we'll go on to other things about grassroots football. But we want to get this out because now it's gone from one extreme to the other. And this is my honest opinion now. I'm secretary. Many years on, I folded the teams and then I got back into it because my son asked me, would I start a football team for the grandson? He wants to get in the team. Could he come over your banner? And I'm going, no, go on. I got begged and in the end I gave in because I've been doing don't cross the line and walking around pitches. And I ended up becoming a secretary. Then I started a second team and I was hoping to get a coach in, but I've ended up running this second team of under-7s. You just can't get away, you can't escape it. But after the 2 years that I've been involved and what I've seen on the touchline,
Yeah.
second year we're going into now, and what I've seen, the way leagues are handling things within the leagues, and also the whole game system.
Must be getting cold there.
Yeah, that's all right, not a problem. I make phone calls all the time. So the whole game system, anyone who knows about it, I'll just explain to all what that is. That's the FA. And you have to put all your teams on the whole game system. So if I was running a team, I've got to get the pictures, then I've got to go around to the mums and dads, get the email address, then the date of birth, and so on, and so on, and so on. Yep, you did used to do that when you had the cards many years ago, but now it's all online. But there's not just about that. It's all about safeguarding. It's all about DBSs. If you haven't got them, then you can't run a team. And then you've got to have level 1 coaches. And, you know, it all costs money. The FA did start doing safeguarding courses, DBS courses, and even welfare courses. They were doing a few of them cheap or half price. A volunteer, I don't think a volunteer should have to pay for any course whatsoever. That's my opinion, my honest opinion, because they're trying to take the kids off the street, putting a team together, giving the kids a chance to play football, let them develop their skills, and go on and enjoy the football. But I think the fun is now being taken out of it. Not from the kids, because the manager or the coach and even the secretaries will try their best to let the kids have fun. But it's the added pressure now of the admin that you're putting on. Because now, on the full-time system, the leagues are now threatening to fine managers, secretaries, coaches, if the admin is not up to scratch. And now, the admin is, after your football game, this is away from the whole game system,
Yeah.
they're now allowed to play because you've filled all the whole game system in. The cards, they're being affiliated, you paid your affiliation fee, you paid everything that you need to, your duties, and then you come to the whole game, the full-time system now, which is also part of an FA. Now, when I went on it last week, I could see it's more admin,
Yeah.
more hard work, because I've got a full-time job, and also I like to put my feet up now and again at home, if you can.
So it
But
doesn't sound like it when you're doing the
No.
challenges.
no, because now you've got a deadline, and people are saying, oh, it's only 2 minutes. It's 2 minutes, it's 2 minutes, it's 22. I was 1.5 hours the other day trying to sort out what was on it, for the simple reason is, I had to put something on the whole game system, that went down, and then I had to go on the full time, 1.5 hours after a game had taken place, and then I had to fill in everything, what was going on, which was the score, and then they want the half-time score, the full-time score, they want the names of the players put down, they want the players' numbers, they want the marks of the referees, they also want to mark the sidelines as well. Now, you're a manager, this is just development, it's non-competitive football for kids. Now we've got to put scores down. Why? We're not too sure. Numbers, and then you've got to tell what teams, what kids were subs, who got a full game, who didn't, did they all get equal game time, which I'm a believer in that, and that's what we give. But why should we have to now mark
Document
everything down, document everything that we're doing with this team? To me, it's not right. So the point is that I'm saying now, and
Yeah.
you might say, we're all volunteers, we're all getting charged for courses, we're all getting charged for this.
Yeah.
So why cannot the volunteers now charge for their admin time? Because we're not getting a break, we're working from home. And people out there might go, charge? Why not? We're getting charged to go in on a course to run a football team. Now you take these coaches, these managers and these secretaries away from grassroots football, then you wouldn't need referees, because there's no teams to play. You wouldn't need committees, so you wouldn't need leagues, because the managers and the coaches have all walked away. And where are those kids going to end up? With no teams, on the street corners once again. That's my honest opinion. And plus the fact we've got the added pressure on parents over the monies, the fees that they're struggling to find to get their kids to play football. So the added cost of training, which are going up on the hubs, And the scandalous, to be honest, over £200 for 1 hour on 3G pitches, and £51, I think if I'm right, on a quarter of a pitch. But they are cheaper off-peak, but off-peak they're not cheap by much. You still have to struggle to find the money, and not many can make the off-peak. So whatever you're looking at it, what are we doing to grassroots football? I'd love your thoughts. matt@don'ttexttheline.com. Add me as a friend on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, all the social network sites. Now, secretaries or managers who are filling all these in actually charge. And if I was the case, because I love it, I'm voluntary, if I was charging, I'd put it back towards the kids in the team and say, look, it's a bit of fundraising. We've just been paid for this. I'm putting my money back in to the team because I'm a volunteer and that's the way it is. But I'm not too happy with all the admin that is going on now. And we're getting people who get paid full time, and all they're doing is checking our work, because that's what it basically is. That's my honest opinion, and I love in the future to get someone from the hierarchy in here to explain why we're all getting charged, why all this admin is coming about, why are they really making these managers work so hard. Referees, brilliant, they get paid. They get paid on a game. Never ever go on about that one. But the coaches, some coaches do, because they use it as a full-time job as well. They get paid for coaching and they'll move off and they'll charge money. But the majority of coaches and managers out there are doing it for free. So I think that is job and a half enough. Get the kids playing. The admin, let's go back to simple. Let's not do all this online. Some out there have got all the time in the world and love it and will say, I'll do this all day long. But it's the fines, and I'm not too happy about the fines with managers. We have to pay out of our own pocket, because if I make a mistake on admin, I can't go to parents and say, I've made a mistake, so we've been fined. It's coming out of my pocket. Where am I getting this money from to put back in on?
Your job.
My job, my full-time job, yeah. And it's also where you've got to have a housekeeping, you've got to pay your bills. So why are these now making it hard for coaches and managers? Again, your thoughts, please. Get in touch with me. And I'm not, now, lovely to say now, my local MP has come on board with me and he's helping out with Don't Cross the Line, the Respect campaign, and hopefully you'll have a little look over this one as well, because at the end of the day, I think it's scandalous. What's your thoughts on all this now?
It's just robbery, isn't it?
Blatant robbery.
Yeah.
Is it going back to slave labour? That's the word that you've got to say. Making people work hard.
Yeah.
Work hard for someone else without pay, without, the voluntary. Now, people will say, oh, you just after money. My God, there's coaches out there, there's referees all making money in grassroots football. But the poor majority of managers are really they've got no protection of anyone whatsoever. And I see that now, and over the 2 years, from many years ago I've been in the game, over 40 odd years in grassroots football. And obviously we started a successful campaign, Respect, Don't Cross the Line, supporting our referees from verbal abuse, aggressive behaviour, racist comments and bullying. That's successful. All the governing bodies, thankfully, are on board, but we don't get money off all the governing bodies whatsoever. All we get is the logos. So we do it cap in hand, and we're lucky enough now and again to get a lottery grant to keep us going, because we're a community interest company, and that is the next best thing to a charity. That means that everything that we do goes back into grassroots football. We do, yes, we're not paid coaches' fees, we're not paid referees' fees, and yet they still want us to do a lot more admin, and it helps the people in the leagues because they're doing all the work for them, so it's easy for them. And especially in your county FAs and your FAs, all these volunteers are doing the work for them. So what's your thoughts then, Al?
Just slave labour, as you said.
It's poor. It's very poor.
It's just like doing minimum wage in a high-risk job.
Well, yeah, it is. You can get someone in. Why don't we have all these volunteers in your county FAs and ask them, do they all want to do all that work, 7 days a week, whatever it may be, because it is 7 days a week that managers and coaches are working. They're keeping in touch with all the kids. They're sending out messages left, right and centre. to try and make sure that all the kids are okay. The parents are always in these groups. But when it comes to all the admin now themselves, they talk in a group and it's friendly 9 times out of 10 to see how the kids are doing and the managers keep in touch. But now it's just taken away all the enjoyment, in my opinion, because I'm that close now to trying to find someone, because it's not for me. All this admin I'm not interested in. I really aren't. I used to be a secretary many years ago, found it simple, and I think all the secretaries did, just to run a team, to make sure the kids were getting a game of football. And now, years on, it's gone so sophisticated, as they'd say now. Better facilities, give you due, but it's the price increases I'm not agreeing with. The kids are suffering, the parents are suffering because of the money and also of the admin. So I think we need to do something in grassroots football before all these teams, or many teams, start folding by the end of the season. We need to bring the price and the cost of grassroots football down, and also let's do away with half of this admin, or most of this admin. We don't need it, and I think it's spoiling the game for secretaries. We're not fully paid, we're not professionals. We need to do something about it, and we will try and fight to make sure from Don't Cross the Line that we can do something about it. And I'm sure there's hundreds of managers thinking like me now, secretaries, thinking, do you know what, that lad's got a point. At the end of the day, I've got a family life, I've also got a full-time job. I want to make sure the kids will enjoy the game on the weekend when they play, and then I can go home, spend some family time, go out, rather than come home and say, I've got a deadline to get all this admin done. It doesn't make sense.
No, not at all.
So, don't cross the line, get these messages in. If you're happy with doing all the admin and you want to take on every team and do that for them, that's fantastic. Do it. But if you're not happy, we'd love to hear from you. We'd like to hear from you anyway, positive or negative. Get in touch with myself, Mal at don'txtheline.com. There you go. Anyway, apologies. We're not going to do a red card for Wayne, are we?
Oh, we might have to.
Well, there's only the one, and you're just going to... Yeah, I'll pass you in anyway. There you go. Go on.
You sure you don't want to do one?
No, I just tell him.
Here you go, Wayne.
There you go. One off all. And apologies from Dan and Ben and Jaden. Jaden said he wouldn't be here for the next couple of weeks. He's got things on. Dan should be here next week. Hopefully all, maybe Ben. Let's see how we go. But I'm sure this topic, as we said, will carry on. Because it's very interesting, isn't it? You know, we want the kids to play. I'm going there tomorrow. But it's not enjoyment anymore.
No.
I'm thinking, wow, oh hang on, let me write all these scores down because I've got to go back. And some of these managers don't even bother with the score because they're under sevens, because they don't count. And now they're being asked to give a check of the score. Keep the numbers. I can't even remember the numbers. I've just given the kit. And now I've got to look at the numbers on the kid's back to pass in. And then we've got to find out how much game time. And then the referee. And then the sidelines. Is it about is it about a manager having fun with the kids, or the secretaries, or even the coach playing there, making sure the kids are enjoying the football? Or now is it taken away from us and we're all looking around, how are you behaving over there? What's the referee doing? Hang on, that was wrong. Where do you coach the kids? How can you coach the kids? Are you just saying leave the kids and watch everything around you? Because that's what it states on the full-time system, on the admin. It gives marks. You've got, and if you give less than 60 to a referee, you have to make a note. You have to put down why you have give 60 or less for a referee, and then you have a big list of things that you might have noticed about this referee to keep you, as, oh, there you go, we'll give you some ideas as what you can put down in your notes. Just turn around, just get on with it. Because I'll tell you now, managers out there, if you witness an incident and you put that down, later on, that's going to come back at you. What happened? Why didn't you report it? Who did you report it to? This is what it's for. This is my honest opinion. And it's easy now just to go into a committee member and say, yeah, they weren't bad, but now they want you to write it down.
Well, where are these scores going?
All to the FA.
Yeah, but what are they going to be used for? They're only like
Exactly.
kids games which are meant to be fun.
Yeah.
Not documented and serious and sophisticated you said.
Yeah. What? It's meant to be fun in kids football, because they're saying it all the time. You see these coaching videos from the FA, from the governing bodies. Let's have fun with the kids. Let's make sure the kids are smiling. We do things right, and it's your safeguarding. You know, these prices are going. I think it's £30 to do a course now, a safeguarding course, and because they did give discounts, but again, and DBSs. My other point about the DBS, I'm like your dad. Do a lot of support work. We do a lot of courses, especially in safeguarding with the kids, with adults, and we have a DBS certificate. And then you go to the county FA and you say you've got one. They say we're not accepting it. You'll have to do our one. It's exactly the same thing.
It's just like robbing you, like with the.
They say, oh, it's discounted. You get £10.50. All this. Why can't one DBS certificate be used for everything? Because that's the way it should be. My honest opinion. So your thoughts on all this? And yeah, you could say it's controversial. I don't think it's controversial. I just think it's just unnecessary work that I'm carrying out in grassroots football. And obviously, it's simple. Me, I could just walk away and try and get someone else in. Excuse me, tomorrow. And any other managers, you know, I think it's a pity, because that's the way I'm looking at it. That's the way I'm saying, no, I'm not enjoying this. I can't be bothered doing this anymore. Are the county FAs and the FA looking at managers and thinking that they are their workforce? Well, yes, they are. And without them, you wouldn't have a county FA, you wouldn't have an FA. But now to make admin like this, then as far as I'm concerned, in the next couple of weeks, if it carries on, then I won't be part of the kids team, and hopefully I'll get someone in who wants to do the admin, which I'll find it hard. And what I've just explained to you, imagine me saying that to you, well, you'll go, I've got time. I want to go out and play. I want to do this. I want to, you know, that's the way managers are and coaches. They're going to, I've got things to do. I can't be bothered going home. And now you've got comments like, well, it only takes you 5 or 10 minutes to these league committee members. It doesn't. It doesn't. There's a lot more to it than that. It really is, because it all depends what notes you want to put down, and you feel like you have to put more than you expected to on there. It's all right saying, oh, just one-liners. Why have one-liners? Why not just wipe it off? Go back to your cards. That's what I want to do. Go back to these match day cards. Simple. Grassroots football is easy. Football's easy. So why make it complicated with all this admin? What are we doing? Are we destroying grassroots football, or are we making it fun for the kids? And you've got to make it fun for managers, and they've got to be wanting to get involved in grassroots football, because I assure you, not many will. Not many will now. How long have we got? We're well over 23. I've been talking. Sorry, all. Anything that you'd like to say? Get in there.
You sound very meticulous and to the point. If you don't do enough, you will get fined, and it's just very stupid.
It's simple. Why fine a volunteer for doing work, for doing a great job with the kids? That's all it is. You don't do that, you're fine.
It's only a little fun work, not very meticulous, as I said just then.
Yeah. So, would you do it? What I've just explained now.
Probably not, because it sounds hard work.
Yeah, it is becoming, because don't forget you're running that team as well, and you're also in contact with the parents. You haven't got a minute, and then they're adding this onto it as well. They're not realising just how much it is making it hard, and I'm sure parents out there will understand exactly how hard a coach or a manager or a secretary's job is, because some of those secretaries have got 60 odd clubs, and if they're doing all that work without the manager,
extra workloads on them.
Oh my God.
For workloads.
Yeah, I feel sorry for them. Okay, if you want to end the show, then we'll go from there.
Well, thank you for watching the show to the end. Signing off from Oliver and Mel. And
yes, and we'll be back again on, well, tomorrow, Saturday. Yeah. The Premier League's back, so I'm sure we'll have a lot more to talk about. Sorry about all coming in and me taking over the show, but that was the topic today. But now we'll know all about it, and when we bring it up next time, he'll be looking into it and start to fire questions, or he'll come up with some thoughts himself, and I'm sure some ideas from our young commentators, and we'll be spot on with that one. So thanks all for tuning in for tonight. Great show, and we'll be back again tomorrow at 7 from myself
and Oliver
and Oliver. We'll see you tomorrow. Good night. Have a great evening. Put your feet up, relax, and then give us an email about all this show tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Good night. God bless.